Oh my God, it's not often that this happens, but Jarret's actually live at the time we're recording the show. So welcome, mate.
Hey, it's good to join you, lads. Nice and early on a Monday morning.
Just 1 degree
Very
away from
early
actually
indeed.
being at the desk, but over
It's
Zoom.
very close. I'm edging ever so closer
Ben loves
to
a good
that
edging.
desk.
I do. I'm edging right now.
Right now as we speak.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, this is a weird week for home entertainment because we only have one distributor releasing titles, but they are good titles.
And I one of them has been moved, so I'll be interested to see what you have to say.
Okay, well, hopefully it's not the one I'm most excited about.
Go for it.
Well, actually, I'm excited about a few.
Okay.
Let's face it. Okay, the first one, though, I know Ben will be excited about also. This is TV Movie of the Week Collection 1. Box set. Is this the one that's moved?
No.
Oh, thank goodness. I'm really excited about this one. The only thing that's a bit soul-crushing is that I caved and bought Scream Pretty Peggy not all that long ago from the US, the King of Lorber edition. I'd held out for a while. Anyway, that's included in this, and it's a brand new scan from the original film materials. And this is a box set that contains 3 features. We've got Scream Pretty Peggy, which I think is the last of these films, 1973. 1972, we've got Baffled, and then Deadly Dream from 1971. And yeah, these are all obviously made for TV films, shot on 35mm, edited on film. Yeah, he's
Slow down.
He's very keen. Very
Slow
keen.
down.
And as is the case with Imprint, they've done a beautiful job of doing new and archival special features. They're all housed in their own individual amores and in a hard box, limited to 1,500 units. And this is one I suggest jumping on straight away because this is going to have international appeal because, you know, there's a soft spot for these TV movies everywhere in the world. But yeah, I can't. Well, not in the case of your compare.
Hey,
so
it's hard, but
that's
it's
the
small.
first of the box sets.
Yeah, go for it.
The second box set that's coming out this week through Imprint is directed by Roman Polanski. Is this the one that's been pushed back?
No, we're good.
Okay, good. Now, this is a great set. It's a 4-film set containing 3 features and a feature-length documentary. So you got, Bitter Moon, Death and the Maiden, which I believe is one of your faves.
I love it.
Glenn?
Yep.
And then rounding out the set's 9th Gate on Blu-ray. And then the last feature, the feature-length documentary, is the Roman Polanski doco, Wanted and Desired. And this is a magnificent set. It's got all the archival content you've seen before on previous releases, be it the King of Lorber or the Lionsgate releases in the States, plus a bunch of new material, including a video essay. I was going to say a video essay by Sally Christie, and I got to edit that one. So very excited about checking out the rest of the features on that release. And I believe it's a newer scan of 9th Gate as well.
I'm really looking forward to 9th Gate, but I believe if you're under the age of 16 and a girl, you have to have your mother's permission before you can buy this box set.
I was waiting for it. I've been waiting for it from the start.
Actually, on that note, a slight digression. Have either of you gentlemen watched the Netflix? It's been purchased by Netflix. It's not really a Netflix film. The Anna Kendrick film Woman of the Hour?
It's my recommendation on the show a bit later on.
Okay. I'll say no more, but there was a Roman Polanski conversation that comes up in the course of that film. So somewhat timely. Anyway, moving on to the next box set, it's the Blair Witch Collection. Now, it is the Blair Witch Collection, but it's not a complete collection because it doesn't contain that 2016 or 2017 Blair Witch, which was pretty awful, to be honest. I'm glad it's not in the set.
I never saw that. Was it
I already own it because I'm a completist.
Was that a reboot or a remake or like what was the gist there? Because I
never
watched it.
Yeah, it was a loose reboot. I think
Okay.
it didn't outwardly acknowledge there had been previous things, but it also
could have.
didn't.
The funny thing
it played it really safe. We went to see it as
we went to see it.
Yeah, Roadshow put a screening on just for the 4 of us at Monster, and we all went and saw it. And it was one of those movies that we all came out and we went, oh, yeah.
I honestly can't remember a damn thing about it.
Yeah, right.
Like, I remember going to see it, but I don't remember the film at all.
Yeah.
I do remember the one thing I did take away was someone got their leg broken or snapped some way, and it was kind of one of those moments you go, ooh, and that's all I remember. But yeah, that one's not in this set.
Okay.
This is just
Yeah.
the original Blair Witch Project from 1999, plus the sequel, which I think was 2001
The
from
Joe
memory,
Berlinger one.
Book of Shadows, which has a massive fan base, and this is the first time it's been released on Blu-ray, and Vision have gone to the effort with this imprint release of doing special features for that
I think
release as well.
Time has been pretty kind to part 2. Like, it's actually appreciated a bit over the years, and the fact that it is Joe Berlinger that it does all those Netflix docos now, like Making a Murder and things like that. I think there's a bit more of a desire to see it.
I'm keen to rewatch. I did see it theatrically, was thoroughly underwhelmed, but I did revisit it when I got into Burn Notice when that started, for obvious reasons. But I'm excited to check it out again. And like I said, Imprint have got a bunch of special features for both the first and for Book of Shadows. So yeah, it is a real collector's set. And I know that there is an other version of Blair Witch that's getting released in the UK, which has gone back and done like a scan of all the 16mm film, as well as captured the video and then basically reconstructed it or whatnot. But it doesn't have all these special features. There's a lot of exclusive content to this particular set. So if you're a completist, you need them all.
How high res or clean do you need this movie? Like, it is a lost.
I know it makes little to no sense. Plus, the version that's being released on this imprint release is the one we well and know from the theatrical.
Yeah.
So this other version technically is just the filmmaker's preferred version. There's no additional footage. It's just better than it's ever been, which I don't care. Yeah, it's found footage. So, yeah, how good are you going to make it look? Anyway, moving on to the next release that's not a box set that's coming out from Vision, and it's on the imprint line. It's a 1970s Italian Exorcist ripoff, and I've got a massive soft spot for this one, The Antichrist.
Yeah.
That one's coming. It's fantastic. There's a whole scene where there's, I think it's a chap, and he's dodging records that are flying because she uses her possession sort of powers and telepathic powers to move vinyl records. Anyway, it's fantastic. That's coming out on Blu-ray. It's got an attractive slipcover. It's got archival special features. So all those features that were on the Kina Lorber release, the special features that are on the Studio Canal release in the UK, plus additional special. This is the most definitive edition in the Antichrist. And you could go, well, wouldn't the most definitive version of the Antichrist be on 4K? And I go, well, no, not really, because it has got a 4K release in the US. However, they didn't do any HDRs, so it would just be a minute uptick in terms of video quality. So this is my go-to reference definitive copy of the Antichrist. I don't think anyone's talking about the Antichrist that much since
it came out,
the very early 80s when it came out on Palace Explosive. Now the next release, this one, Glenn, you might have a soft spot for this one because this is a Canadian slasher. Superstition?
No. No.
Oh, okay.
Next
Superstition,
one.
Canadian slasher. The next one, Canadian slasher Superstition. Again, it's got all the archival special features that were on the Scream Factory release, plus some new special features. It's going to be a great release. I've already sold off my US Blu-ray in anticipation of this release, forever upgrading. And then the next release is the one I think you're going to get excited about. It's what I like to describe as a Spielbergian slasher, or an American giallo. It's Death Valley.
Yep, that's the one.
Death Valley coming out on Blu-ray. What a movie.
Yep. And what a poster.
The poster's iconic.
Yeah.
With the actually glasses, just glasses.
Yeah.
What's the name of the little actor again?
Peter Billingsley or something like that? The
kid
that's
from
it. Christmas Story.
A Christmas Story, and the Dirt Bike Kid as well. Don't forget the Dirt Bike Kid. Don't forsake that. This is a terrific film. It's just such an oddball movie, and I had the pleasure of not only doing a video essay for this, which is quite extensive. I think it's about 35 odd minutes, and it's about the slasher subgenre, the rise of the slasher subgenre, and the fall of the studio slasher. It's called Sliced and Spliced. Look, it was written, never to be said. Anyway, so that's on there. But I also did an interview with the film's composer, Dana Kaproff, and we talk about his career as a composer, but also specifically his work on Death Valley. He did When a Stranger Calls, the original. Anyway, so that release is coming, and it's got all the Scream Factory special features as well. So this is, again, probably the most definitive version of Death Valley you're ever going to get.
I wouldn't be true to myself if I didn't reference the fact that Peter Billingsley was also the lead in in Albert Pune's Arcade. Just putting that out there.
Of course, yeah, and that's a full...
Don't forget it.
Don't forget
I think that's
Arcade.
the drinking game that we play with you, right? It's the Albert Pune reference. That's when we have to take a shot.
Yep. I am without beverage.
Watch out,
Spenders member and Pune.
Pew.
Okay, good. You did hear me. I thought I might have cut off there.
Yeah, you went a bit weird.
Waiting for that canned laughter. Now, there are a couple other releases that are coming out from Viavision. I won't go into detail. One of them's an imprint release, the Baron movie collection.
Yep.
And
but
then
not the
other
Baron
two releases...
series, which is... I got
just
super
the movie.
excited because I thought, they're bringing out the Baron, which Madman had brought out in the day. But it's just it's like bringing out the Murder She Wrote movies.
Or the Perry Mason
movies.
Yeah.
Do you think they're testing the waters, maybe? Because I think they did a similar thing with Psych. They did the movie collection, the 3 TV movies. And now I see that they're doing the Blu-ray box set of the entire series. So maybe they're getting a feel for it and seeing. Anyway, that's coming out. The other 2 releases aren't imprint, but they're from Viavision. But they're no less special. They're pretty cool limited editions. One's a collection of the Mummy movies from Universal, so 5 films there, all on Blu-ray. And then the other one's an Abbott and Costello horror collection that's coming out, 5 films again.
That's
and
cool.
They've got those nice lenticular covers and whatnot. So, yeah, they're coming out. Anyway, so that's all this week's releases. Okay. They're all out from
Viavision. You didn't mention it. You may have referenced it on a previous episode, but Suspiria was supposed to be this week and it got bumped to December.
That's been bumped.
Yeah.
Yes, that's coming out. Now, that's coming out the same week as Neverending Story and Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Which I might add, did fuck me over at work quite a bit, that change of date. Yes.
Oh, I could imagine. And obviously you lads saw that Umbrella has announced that they're releasing Terrifier 3 just in time for Christmas.
Yeah.
So
there's a big box.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
Gigantic.
Yeah.
And actually pretty, I know these things generally go for a bit of coin, but that one seems like a pretty good price.
It looks bang for buck,
You're getting
for
like
sure.
4 films on 4K UHD plus all the slip covers and all the other sort of associated sort of nonsense. But yeah, it's quite a nice set. In fact, I've seen the international releases get announced over the last week or so, and this one looks to be the best out there, if that's your kind of thing. I mean, I'm not a Terrifier kind of guy. Now that Monster Fest passed, I can quite happily say that I'm not a Terrifier guy. You know what
you were a couple of weeks ago.
You know what the real fault with?
I was a Terrifier guy right up until whatever it was, October 6th.
Yeah. I think the real problem with the Terrifier movies is that they're old school slashers without the old school slasher nudity. Like they need a lot more. It needs a lot more premarital sex. Like people need to be punished for a lot more premarital sex in those films.
Well, they've traded that out for like decomposing corpse nudity. We get the rotten boobs.
Yeah.
Much more intestines than in the old slashers.
Yeah, that bathtub chick, she's kind of naked.
You need a balance. But look, gents, before I let you go, I do want to tell you about 2 releases that are coming out in December. Now, these are moving into that December 4th spot that I mentioned a week or so back, where North by Northwest, and that's coming out. These 2 titles are coming out from Roadshow, and they're the first time on 4K locally. So get excited. The first of which being Wes Craven's 1984 classic A Nightmare on Elm Street. Very excited about that one. JB Hi-Fi is going to have an exclusive steelbook. Currently, the list price on that is quite dear, though. So I'm thinking it'll be more than just the steelbook. It might be that deluxe set like they got in the UK, like I have already purchased and sitting over there in the pile of things that I'll eventually get to. And then the other release that's the first time to 4K locally is The Terminator, James Cameron's 1984 classic, both films celebrating 40th anniversaries, and I'm really excited to check out. I mean, both of these have got Dolby Atmos mixes as well, mind you. That's what's going to get me to watch Nightmare on Elm Street, apart from the fact that it's the first time that we've seen the uncut version of Nightmare on Elm Street, on physical media since home video.
Yeah.
But it's got an Atmos track. But Terminator, I'm really excited about listening to that one.
If I'm not mistaken, I think there are a total of 18 4K releases in December.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. There's a couple reissues as well. Like Wizard of Oz is coming back out.
That'll have a steelbook at JB as well.
Yeah.
Who needs money?
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's. I mean,
It's
yeah.
for spending, right?
I just ordered the Columbia Classics Volume 5 box set last night, and it's probably the least appealing of the Columbia Classics box sets yet, because some of the older films aren't my jam, but I'm willing to give them more of a shot. And then the more contemporary stuff, it's probably the first box set that's got the most contemporary film in there, because it's got Little Women from 2019, which actually was fine. Like, it's a fine film, but I probably don't need to own it, let alone in 4K.
I didn't care.
So it's just filling up the space of something
didn't
else.
Didn't care for it.
Why haven't they just done a Little Women box? Because there's like 15 Little Women
I know.
films and stuff. Like,
And what about Little Men?
And Little Men and
Little Men,
the TV
yes.
series. There's a TV series, Little Women, with like Jenna Malone and stuff like that in them. Like,
Christian
why don't
Bale is in the 94
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was somewhat disappointed when I realized after order. Look, I was going to order it anyway. I own the other 4 box sets, so I'm a bit of a completist, and they are really lovely sets. But I was a little bit disappointed when I realized it was the contemporary. Well, not contemporary, but recent.
Yep.
I thought it was the Winona Ryder one, and I actually have a massive soft spot. What a cast! That was great. Susan Sarandon, everybody's in it.
But you know, before
Anyway,
they get to that, they have to do an Anne of Green Gables 4K box set. That's where I'm at.
Well, look, it was shot
I'm
on
surprised
film,
they
so it's entirely doable.
Yeah.
You guys need to have a little whisper to Vivision, because that seems like Vivision bread and butter title. And I mean, it probably would sell.
I would buy the
I was
shit
gonna
out
say
of it.
that, and then all the Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen twin movies.
Mate,
Do you remember?
They're
put
all
them in the same
you're doomed.
conversation.
No, but I'm just talking
They're
about.
all owned by Warner. They're not
coming out.
gonna.
I'm just talking about what
Arrow might sub-license them though, and do a box
thing.
set.
I'm just talking about when I was working at Borders. What titles were we asked about most? It was all those Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movies and Anne of Green Gables.
Well, if that's the case, the one I was asked about the most would, when are you putting Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood on the 4K?
Yeah.
Well, look, that one's probably up for the taking. I mean, it was a Miramax title, but it probably sits with Paramount now. So, look, you know, the things that Paramount have been releasing on 4K.
We got that Zaz box set coming out.
Happen.
Blue 4K thing coming out. That's going to be exciting.
Did you say Zapped?
No, Zaz, the airplane Naked Gun.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I already, of course, they announced that after I buy Naked Gun on 4K, but look, you know, I'm okay. Hopefully they'll do Top Secret, you know, individually.
Yeah.
But anyway, gentlemen, that's all the stuff for this week. I do have a focus film in the works for you. It's the one I spoke about weeks ago, but you're not getting it today.
Okay.
Because there was way too much other stuff to go through.
There is no way Ben can fuck this up. Right, let's do it.
All right.
Until next time.
Stay physical.
Physical.
Oh, you fucked us up.
Was it the lag?
The lag, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, mate.